So they were blown out of the water.
When the United States was plunged into World War II, Al Jolson was 55 years old and semi-retired, though not by his own choosing. But the smoke was still billowing in the skies over Pearl Harbor when Al Jolson picked up the telephone and called Washington. He had an idea. He was too old to wear the uniform of a soldier, but he was not too old to travel to wherever the troops were sent and to entertain them. And the folks at the War Department thought it sounded like a good idea. They decided to send Jolson out on a tour of the Aleutians and other bases in Alaska. And if it all worked out, then they would invite the rest of Hollywood to follow. And that is precisely what happened. And that's how those fabled USO tours of World War II and all the wars since that time got started. From 1942 to 1945, Al Jolson crisscrossed the country singing at hundreds of army camps, army hospitals. He was sent overseas to Alaska, to Great Britain, to Trinidad, to Central America, to North Africa, to Sicily. Wherever the troops were sent, Jolson wasn't far behind. To entertain them, to make them laugh, to make them forget about the war for at least a couple of hours. Now these boys, GIs, were a brand new audience for Al Jolson. They were too young to remember him when he was king of the world in the 1920s, but they learned to love him just the same, and the sentiment was mutual. To the end of his life, Al Jolson described his GI audiences of World War II in Korea as, quote, the greatest audiences I've ever played to in my whole life, unquote. Al Jolson's service to the GIs and to his country came at a price. It came at the price of his health and ultimately shortened his life. While he was entertaining the troops during World War II, he caught malaria and eventually had to have emergency surgery to have one of his lungs removed. When the Korean War kicked off in 1950, Jolson was well past his prime and in frail health, but he insisted on going to entertain the troops. In September of 1950, he performed 25 shows over the course of 17 days, although he was stricken by bronchitis and exhaustion. Coming home, he passed away a month later. But the memory of Jolson's tireless entertaining of the troops lived on. As late as the Vietnam War, the entertainer Eddie Fisher stated that the songs that the GIs requested him to sing the most were old Al Jolson songs. Now in this audience today, there are many members of the GI generation of World War II and Korea. You have been dubbed by history the greatest generation, and with good reason. But you are also members of that generation that made up Jolson's greatest audience. And I'd like to invite everyone here to think back and imagine what it must have been like to be at that army camp, that army base, that army hospital, and to hear that the USO is coming and you would have a few hours of entertainment, maybe a few hours away from the front line, and that headlining that event would be the man they called the world's greatest entertainer.
Hello, boys. How are you? It's good to see you. Colonel, I'd like to thank you for inviting us, and I'd like to thank you for giving the boys a couple hours off to come to the show. Boys, I know what you're wondering. You're wondering how things are back home. Well, I'm here to tell you, everybody back home is working together as one to bring you all of the guns, the shells, the bombs, the tanks, the planes, the ships, and the torpedoes that you're going to need to win this war and to rid the world of Adolf and Tojo and Benito and everything that they stand for. And boys, I'm here to tell you, help is on the way. The draft is in full swing. Why, just last week, a young fellow with real thick glasses got his draft notice. And he had to go to the Army doctor. So he asked the Army doctor, "Doctor, look, does the Army still check eyes?" And the doctor says, "Nah, we don't check them anymore. We just count them." He went on. He said, "Look, Doc, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to see." And the doctor said, "Kid, don't worry. They're going to put you right up front. You'll see everything just fine." Well, you know, if you've been reading your papers, you know that Mr. Hitler is getting pretty shaky. Why, just now, Just now, he's going door to door in Germany, making a survey of all of his followers. A sort of a louse-to-louse canvas. And another thing I heard on my way in here today, I don't know if it's true or not, I sure hope it is true. They say the snow is so deep in Russia, Hitler has to jack up his generals to shoot them. And you know, the Japanese said they started this war because Japan was congested and they wanted more space. Well, if it's more space that they want, guys, they'll get it. We'll give them hell. Now, I had a surprise for you boys, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you. You see, Gypsy Rose Lee wanted to be with me here today, but owing to circumstances over which I have no control, she's unable to appear. But she sent me a telegram, which I'd like to read for you boys. Dear Al, sorry that I cannot be with you today, because I'm appearing as guest on the Bear Aspirin program. Boys, here's a little song that a lot of you have asked me to sing. Miss Liddy? California, here I come, right back where I started from, where bowers of flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawning birdies sing out everything a sun-kissed miss said, don't be late. That's why I can hardly wait. Open up that golden gate, California, here I come. California, here I come, yeah. Right back where I started from, where bowers of flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawning the birdies sing and everything a sun-kissed miss said don't be late. Ah, that's why I can hardly wait. Come on, open up, open up, open up that golden gate, California, here I come. Thank you. This next little number asks the question that everybody's been wondering about. Is it true what they say about Dixie? Is it true what they say about Dixie? Does the sun really shine all the time? Do the sweet magnolias blossom at everybody's door? And do the folks keep eating possum? Do they can't eat no more? Is it true what they say about Swanee? Is a dream by that stream so sublime? Do they laugh? Do they love like they do in every song? If it's true, that's where I belong. Is it true what they say about Dixie? Now does the sun really shine all the time? Oh yeah. Do the sweet magnolias blossom at everybody's door? And do the folks keep eating possum? They can't eat no more. Is it true what they say about Swanee? Is a dream by that stream so sublime? Do they laugh? Do they love like they do in every song? If it's true, that's where I belong. I said, do they laugh? Do they love like they do in every song? Oh, that's pretty. If it's true, that's where I belong. Thank you, folks.
Ready?
Here's a little number about a little bird you might have heard. All right, Miss Lindy, hit it. I heard a robin this morning. I'm feeling happy today. Gonna pack my cares in a whistle. Gonna blow them all away. What if I've been unlucky? Really, I ain't got a thing. There's a time I always feel happy as a kid. When the red, red robin comes bobbing along, there'll be no more sobbing when he starts throbbing his old sweet song. Oh, wake up, you sleepyhead, get up, get out of bed, cheer up, the sun is red, live, love, laugh and be happy. What if I've been blue? Now I'm walking through fields of flowers. Rain may glisten, but still I listen for hours and hours. I'm just a kid again, doing what I did again, singing a song. When the red, red robin comes bobbing along. When the red, red robin comes bobbing along, there'll be no more sobbing when he starts throbbing his old sweet song. Oh, wake up, you sleepyhead, get up, get out of bed, cheer up, the sun is red, live, love, laugh and be happy. What if I'm blue? Now I'm walking through fields of flowers. Rain may glisten, but still I listen for hours and hours. I'm just a kid again, doing what I did again, singing a song. When the red, red robin comes bobbing along. Thank you. You know, before I flew out here to be with you boys, I toured a lot of army camps back in the States. And about a month ago, I went down to Camp Upton, Georgia to be exact. And I took along with me 10 Broadway showgirls from the new hit show Best Foot Forward. Well, we got to Camp Upton, and the CO, the commanding officer, he came out to meet us. He took one look at the girls and he said, Al, I can't let you come inside. I said, why not? He said, after all, look, Al, we've got thousands of boys here. There's no telling what's liable to happen if I turn these 10 gorgeous creatures loose among these fellas. Well, I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, Colonel, look, you got us all wrong. These are high-class girls. Many of them have a fine background. Why, these girls are the intellectual type. With these girls, everything is in the mind. Everything's in the mind. He said, Al, I don't care where it is, these guys will find it. And everything back home is being rationed. Meat, for example. Meat, for example, is becoming more precious than gold. Get this. Just yesterday, a very rich girl got married. And for a wedding present, her father gave her a beautiful string of matched meatballs. And gasoline is being rationed all over the country. But in New York City, they took it a step further. They instituted a ban on pleasure driving. Why, just last week, a cop stopped the car on Fifth Avenue and said to the man at the wheel, say, haven't you heard about the ban on pleasure driving? And a fellow said, what pleasure driving? This is my mother-in-law alongside of me. Colonel, where is he? I meant to ask you something, Colonel. You didn't tell me there are going to be women here today. I've had to clean up all of my jokes. Every place we go, usually it's just boys, stag audience. Well, I got an idea. Well, why don't you girls go home and let the boys have some fun? I'm only kidding. Stay where you are. So now we have this women's army, the WACs. Only in America can you get 200 women together in the same place, all wearing the same dress, and no fights. Here's a little number that'll make some of you folks a little homesick. Miss Lindy, Carolina, if you please. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in a morning. No one could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet her in a morning. Where the morning glories twine around the door, whispering their stories. I long to hear once more, strolling with my girlie where the dew is pretty early in a morning. Butterflies all flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at dawning. If I had Aladdin's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Ain't that pretty, folks? Oh, yeah. Where the morning glories twine around the door, whispering pretty stories. I long to hear once more, strolling with my girlie where the dew is pretty early in the morning. Butterflies all flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at dawning. If I had Aladdin's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Thank you. All right, Miss Lady, hit it. You know this one. Yesterday I heard a lover sigh, goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train, and 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and tell her tootsie goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry. That choo-choo train that takes me away from you, no words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me, Tootie, and then, oh baby, do it over again. Watch for the mail, I never fail. And if you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Don't cry, Tootie, don't cry. Goodbye, Tootsie, goodbye. Thank you. Now, as those of you boys who've been out to the front line know, prayer is a great thing. Yes, sir, prayer is a great thing. I just, on a couple of months ago, a fellow who works for me walks up to me and he says, Mr. Jolson, I'm not much for church, but I've got to talk to somebody. I did a bad thing. I said, what'd you do? He said, well, I don't know what was the matter with me. Maybe I had a little too much to drink, but I went out and stole 6 dozen eggs. I said, what'd you do with the eggs? He said, I put them under the front porch of my house. What should I do? So I tell him, go pray for 4 hours and the Lord will help you. And while he's praying, I called another fellow over and I said, look, you know we need some eggs. Go get these eggs and cook them up. Well, a couple of weeks later, the same fellow walks up to me again. And he said, Mr. Jolson, I've done another bad thing. I said, what'd you do? He said, I got stuck on a married woman. Oh, we go out all the time, we have fun, and she's beautiful. Why, her hair is like spun gold. Her eyes are like sapphires. Her lips are like rubies. I said, where does she live? He says, to hell with you. I told you where the eggs were. Well, here's a little song for those of you boys who have sweethearts or wives back home. It's called the Anniversary Song. Miss Lindy, if you please. Danced on the night we were wed. We vowed our true love, though a word wasn't said. The world was in bloom. There were stars in the skies, except for the few that were there in your eyes. Yet as I held you close in my arms, angels were singing a hymn to your charms, to hearts gently beating, murmuring low, darling, I love you so. The night seemed to fade into blossoming dawn. A sun shone anew, but the dance lingered on. Could we but recall that sweet moment sublime, we find that our love is unaltered by time. Thank you. Thank you. Now, there's a song that a number of you boys have asked me to sing that, well, I don't like to sing this song so much because, well, a lot of people attach a lot of sentiment to it. It's sentimental, all right, but it's as corny as a deuce. All this song ever did for me, bought me the biggest ranch in Beverly Hills you've ever seen. Miss Lindy, Sonny Boy. Climb up on my knee, Sonny boy, though you're only 3, Sonny boy, you've no way of knowing, there's no way of showing what you mean to me, Sonny boy. When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. You make them blue, Sonny boy. Friends may forsake me, let them all forsake me. I still have you, Sonny boy. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. You've made a heaven for me here on earth. When I'm old and gray, dear, promise you won't stray, dear, for I love you so, Sonny boy. When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. You made them blue, Sonny boy. And friends may forsake me. Let let them all forsake me. I still have you, Sonny Boy. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. Why? You made a heaven for me here on earth. And the angels, they grew lonely, and they took you because they were lonely. Now I'm lonely too, Sonny Boy. Thank you. I probably shouldn't tell you about this because you're going to read about it in your Stars and Stripes. But I heard about this on my way over here. You see, I hope I'm not divulging any secrets. But last week, it turns out the vice president decided to go down to Florida and take a couple of days off, on vacation. I don't know, I guess he's got a difficult job or something. Well, the vice president went down to Florida and he went out fishing in the Keys, out in a boat. Well, he wasn't paying attention, he slipped and he fell in the water. Well, there were 3 little boys nearby, 12 or 13 years old, and they dove in, they saved his life. Well, when they got him back on the boat, oh, his gratitude was abounding. He lined up the boys and said, boys, listen, just to show you how much I appreciate the fact that you saved my life, I'll do anything you want me to, anything at all, just ask it and it's yours. So he went to the first little boy and said, what would you like, son? Well, I'd like a new bicycle. All right, you're going to get the finest bicycle with all the bells and whistles. He goes to the second little boy, what would you like for saving my life? Well, I'd like a new scooter. All right, you're going to get the finest scooter with all red, white, and blue bells and whistles and everything. And he goes to the third little kid and says, son, what would you like for saving my life? And the kid goes, I'd like you to give me a military funeral. So he says, son, why do you want me to give you a military funeral? Because when I go home this afternoon and I tell my father I saved your life, he'll kill me. You're just a bunch of nasty fellas laughing at a gag like that. Fella might get the idea you don't like Harry Truman too much. Well, don't worry, boys. Listen, your secret's safe for Jody. I ain't going to tell him. Now, I've got a little song I'd like to sing for you all. And it's kind of a new song that I'd like to dedicate to all the American fighting men all over the world. And in fact, it's so new that Miss Lindy doesn't have the music for it. So I'm going to have to try to sing it all on my own. This song is called American Boy. And with your leave and permission, I'd like to sing it for you. American boy, you're the pride and joy of America. You're the hope of half the world. American boy, you're the flaming sword of America. When her battle flags unfurl in the cradle of liberty, this is how you came to be. They took a bit of the whip of the Irish and put it on the tip of your tongue. They took the love of the Latin for music and they poured it in your heart to be sung. They made the Star-Spangled Banner so you can wave it. And when the world's in trouble, you can help to save it from the stiff upper lip of the British. They blessed you with a courage nothing can destroy. And when they were through, we were mighty proud of you, just a plain American boy. They took a bit of the whip of the Irish and put it on the tip of your tongue. They took the love of the Latin for music and they poured it in your heart to be sung. They made the Star-Spangled Banner so you can wave it, and when the world's in trouble, you can help to save it from the souls of the Poles and the Russians. They blessed you with a cottage nothing can destroy. And when they were through, we were mighty proud of you. Just a plain American boy. Thank you. Thank you. Now listen, folks. I want to ask you a question. And tell me the truth, because I can tell if you're lying. Did you enjoy the show?
Yeah.
Well, you ain't heard nothing yet. You ain't heard nothing yet, because I got a couple more songs left in me, and I'm raring to go. Miss Lindy, pass the mustard. Let's have it. Settle back, folks. You ain't heard nothing yet. Everything seems lovely when you start to roam. The birds are singing the day that you stray. But wait until you are further away. Things won't be so lovely when you're all alone. Here's what you'll keep saying when you're far from home. Mammy, Mammy, the sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where that sun shines best. Mammy, my little Mammy, my heartstrings are tangled around Alabama. I'm a-comin', sorry that I made you wait. I'm a-comin', hope and trust that I'm not late. Oh, Mammy, my little Mammy, I walk a million miles for one of your smiles, my Mammy, oh, Mammy, my little Mammy. The sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where the sun shines best. There's a Mammy I'm talking about, nobody else's. My little Mammy, my heartstrings are tangled around Alabama. Mammy, Mammy, I'm coming. I hope I don't make you wait. Mammy, Mammy, I'm coming. I hope I'm not late. Mammy, look at me. Don't you know it? I'm your little baby. I'd walk a million miles for one of your smiles, my Mammy. Thank you. You know, looking at all of you folks makes me feel like I'm sitting on top of the world. Hit it, Miss Lindy. And I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm rolling along, just rolling along. Don't want any millions, I'm getting my share. I've only got one suit, just one, that's all I can wear. A bundle of money, don't make me feel gay. Your sweet little honey is making me say that I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm rolling along, just rolling along, yeah. And I'm quitting the blues of the world. I'm singing a song, yes, singing a song. Lord, hallelujah, I just phoned a possum. Hey, Pop, get ready to call. Just like Humpty Dumpty, I'm gonna fall, and I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm rolling along, rolling along. Thank you, folks. Thank you. You know, just in closing, I'd like to say a couple of words. I'm just a veteran like all of you are, and I'm not a professional performer. This little show is just my way of giving my thanks to you for everything that you've done for our country, for me, for my kids, and for their kids sometime in the future. Yes. I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to salute you. And God bless you.
And we want to thank you for coming. They live up north. They drove down from Napa Valley?
Somewhere around there.
Okay, they drove down, and this morning you went to see to the cemetery?
Yeah, we went to Al Jolson's final resting place at Hillside Memorial, about 8 miles down the road.
Right.
So it's been a very special day, and I'm just honored to meet all of you.
Well, it was an honor to have you here.
Thank you. Well, I'd be happy to come back sometime if we can work it out.
Please do. We're so fortunate that you wanted to come, and on behalf of all of you guys, thank you so much for sharing your skills. I want to say, although I'm putting Mr. Robinson on the spot, I enjoyed you singing along. You know all the words to the songs. I was looking over and you kept singing, and it was just so cool that it meant that much. You couldn't see him do that, but there were several, Mr. Gardner too, were singing along. And so you know the impact of that music had on Mr. Nickens and other people. Thank you for making it come alive again.
Thank all of you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
I think we need to stand up for the chairman right here. I think we